presentation, I want to ask you a course about how children learn language. And today we are going to talk about a very interesting book called Children Discourse, Person, Space, and Time Across Language by Maya Hickman. In this presentation, we will explore why this book is so useful for anyone who wants to understand how children develop their language skills. This book gives us a clear view of how children learn not just words, but also how they use language to express themselves. Let's dive into what makes this book is so important and worth reading. Okay, before we dive into the detail of the book, let me share some basic information about it. The book is called Children Discourse, Person, Space, and Time Across Language, written by Maya Hickman. It was published by Cambridge University Press in 2004, and it has 318 pages in total. Now that you know a little about the book, let's take a closer look at what you will discover inside. Okay, let's start with the first point. It's about the book summary, which includes the main purpose, target audience, and key topic of the book. This book talks about how children learn to use language and how this learning happens through their experiences in the world around them. The book focuses on three important ideas: person, space, and time. The author explained how children learn language by understanding who they are, person, where they are, space, and when things happen, it's time. This book is for anyone who is curious about how children learn language, including teacher, parent, linguist, and student of language development. Hickman explained that children learn language not just by memorizing grammar rules, but by interacting with others and their environment. This process helps children develop the skills they need to communicate clearly and meaningfully. Now, let's move to the second point. It's about the strength and weaknesses of the book. First, let's talk about the strength. For strength, the book is very clear and easy to understand. Hickman takes some very complicated ideas and explains them in a simple, straightforward way. She used explain that make these ideas easier to understand. This is very helpful for readers who might not have a background in language development but still learn to learn language. The book is not just about theory or abstract ideas. It shows how children actually use language in everyday situations, which make it very practical for people who work with children, like teachers and parents. It helps them understand how children use language in different settings, which is important for both teaching and learning. Okay, and the last, Hickman supports her point with findings from studies and research. This makes the book more reliable because it is based on solid evidence, not just opinion, for anyone who wants to understand the science behind how children learn language. This book is great research. Okay, now let's talk about the weaknesses of the book. Although the book is very helpful, there are a few areas that could be improved. For the first weakness, some parts of the book are a bit hard to understand. The book uses some technical language that might be difficult for beginners, especially if you are not familiar with the study of language or research method. Some sections are more advanced, so readers may need extra time to fully understand these parts. For the second weakness, the book could include more real-life examples. While the book does a great job explaining ideas and theories, it would be even better if it included more stories from real life. For example, it could show example of how children actually learn language in different situations. This will help readers better understand how the theories apply to everyday life. For the third weakness, the book doesn't talk much about the student perspective. While the book provides great insight into how children learn language, it doesn't focus enough on how children feel while learning. It would be helpful to hear more about their experiences and emotions during the learning process. This could make the book even more valuable, especially for teachers who want to understand how children think and feel when they are learning. Okay, now let's talk about the last point. Why should we read this book? Let me ask you, if you are a teacher, have you ever walked into a classroom not sure if your teaching method is the best for your student? Or have you ever used the same method repeatedly because it's one you have always done? If you ever felt this way, then this book is definitely for you. For the first reason to read the book is this book is a great resource for good, new, and experienced teacher. It helps teachers understand different teaching methods and how to use them for different students. If you are a new teacher, this book gives you a clear breakdown and how to apply this method. If you are an experienced teacher, this book will help you connect your teaching with the latest research to improve your lesson. Okay guys, for the second reason to read the book is the book is useful for anyone involved in education. Whether you are a curriculum designer, an educational researcher, or a student learning about teaching, this book has valuable information. It explains why certain teaching methods work and help you understand how to apply them in real life. For the third reason to read the book is this book gives you practical tools to improve your teaching. It helps you think critically about what teaching method work best for your students. It also provides real-life example of how to apply this method, which is very useful for anyone looking to improve their teaching skills. Alright everyone, if you want to feel more confident in your teaching, this book is for you. By reading Children Discourse, Person, Space, and Time Across Language, you will gain the knowledge and tools to teach more effectively and understand how children learn language. This book will help you feel more confident in your teaching and give you new insight into how children develop their language skill. Okay, thank you for listening. In this presentation was help to you. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. If there are any teaching method or challenges you want to learn more about, drop a comment and let's explore it together. Let's learn it. Let's learn and grow in teaching. That's all. I hope this presentation gave you a good understanding of why Children Discourse, Person, Space, and Time Across Language is a great book to read. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you!